All right, so we have the Misfits FreeFlow mech upgrade kit for the standard DSR Plus mechanical solenoid here. This one already has the cold weather kit, so some of the parts will be a different color than maybe what you're seeing, but the order of operations, everything is exactly the same here. So let's take a look. I don't know why you need to send your whole gun in for this. At the very least, you could just, send your solenoid in, just because they want to air it up and make sure it works. So, but you don't need to do anything to your whole gun for this. So, here's the kit. These springs are just extras because you will probably lose them while you're doing this. So, it's pretty simple. I don't want to say kind of paint by numbers here, but if you just go slow, here's your order of operations here. So you got 5 screws on the top here. Unscrew all 5. There's going to be a spring right away. This long one right here comes into play right as you remove this cover. See, it's starting to push off. Just remember that. So when we reassemble, this spring, you see that it goes into the top cap right there. So these 5 screws and the spring, that's all in there. So if you want, which you know what, it's a part of the kit, why not? Let's replace that spring with this over here with the FreeFlow one. All right, springed in, easy. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. I'm gonna start with this back just so we can finish it and go out of the way. This is Ambidextrous. This is the same on every part. Take this out. I have a little dental pick. We can just push this out. So you'll see this has 2 sides. One has a plus, one has a minus. It's not, probably why they did it, but the minus side is going to be facing out. So just keep that in mind. And then there's another one in there, which if you have that dental pick, push through back here, push slot through there. You just kind of gotta push this through until you can get a piece of it. Pull this out. There it is. So as far as order of operations goes, if you remembered, this came out with the 3 O-rings, facing your SFR, big one at the end. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our FreeFlow one, move on there. We're gonna put this one in like so, nice. And then we're gonna take this one, same thing, just order of operations here. See the little minus? That's gonna be facing out. And that little plug goes into this hole right here. You see that hole? So we want that hole to line up right there, because then that plug goes in there. There it is. So this piece is done. Perfect. Now, this one, we've got this. This has a couple of things we're gonna do. So we're going to take this out. This is all being replaced, well, to a degree. This is mostly being replaced, but then there's a lot of stuff in there. So I kind of do it like this on my dental pick. So I keep the stacking order correct. Like so. And there is an O-ring down in there as well. So look, we are gonna do top flat O-ring hole, flat O-ring hole. So these parts are the same, but they go in like this, flat O-ring hole. So we're gonna put this over here, like so. That's the hole where we just had that. Here is this, that's updated, this that's updated, and this. So we are going to push this through, take that off, take that off. All we need is this little black top hat looking piece here. We are going to insert this back on. Long skinny end down here, goes on the fat end. Put the spring, again. Spring is going to be on the skinny, like this. Push that up. So this is this assembly. So, like that. We're going to put it inside of this bad boy. There you go. There's that. And then we're going to take these back off. As you can see, they're identical. They go like this. This is how it's going to go. This goes on top through here. So here's this whole assembly. And you're just going to put it back in. There you go on that. Lastly, well, second to last, you have this little blue guy here. This one's tough to get out, to be honest with you. I don't have a good way to do it. I've just got lucky a few times. Push up against like one of the walls. Oh. There we go. Pull this out. Again, this is how it goes in. Two towards the top. Set this to the side. Take my FreeFlow one. We want, there's an end with a nub. The nub is going in like this. Boom, there that goes. And now we can take our top with our spring, put that back on. I do this little one first because that will just torque the whole thing down. Okay, put our 4 screws. 4 screws. Let's crank these. By crank, I mean put them through, because then we're going to go back onto here. So this isn't tough, but you just have to like kind of put this in there and then drop it on. And I'm sure your dad taught you opposite sides. Just doing finger tight. Finger tight. Kind of torque those a little bit. Lastly, this one's easy then. This one's last. Unscrew this. Cap, easy. This guy, you'll see that this, if you hold the O-ring, you can back this off. This is threaded within there. So you do have some adjustment. You know, you can do it like this and then put it in, and this is going to control the amount of volume. Inside here, I didn't really see any discernible difference between all the way extended and all the way in. Maybe it's a reliability thing. It's, you know, warm enough where I'm playing, where it has hasn't really come into play, but I did notice when it was fully extended, it felt like there was more of a pop to the shot. And, anecdotally, right? Take that as you will. So here is it fully installed. There we go.